Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL, or Reading Between the Lines. We're going to be looking at the highlights of this patch update. Hero balance adjustments, I already made a video on that, so if you want to hear my thoughts on what I think about the new heroes coming in terms of the dev buffs, feel free to watch that. I'm not going to go through this because I think there's a lot to cover and a lot of my thoughts overarching the last couple patches. Arena season is closing, so that's pretty cool. I have a friend aligned with me on doing another account review, a high-end one. If you guys remember Sir Pig, or his former IGN or in-game name was Treeski. If you haven't seen that, I think it's gonna be really great because he's still farming just as hard as he was before. So I'm really looking forward to that. He's also known as Sir Pig. But after the arena season is over, you guys can hopefully we'll schedule some day for that. But yeah, just keep in mind that the arena season is coming close. Kizuna AI collab. I'm not gonna really formulate all of my thoughts. You know, before when we got teased and and then leaked, it was Kizuna AI. I had some thoughts on it, but whatever, it's free. She's a 4-star hero, and you can get her to a triple S, so that's great. Just log in and then you can collect her. She's a 4-star, like I said, but a Cancer Soul Weaver, so shares the same stats as Angelica. If you are familiar with Angelica's stats, you know that it is very robust. And when it gets to the 5-star counterparts, i.e. Destina, then it becomes even crazier. But for a tanky-ish Soul Weaver, cancers are really good. Her skills are not even that bad, so her being free is actually pretty good, but then everybody is on the same page in terms of anyone who is playing the game and actually gets Kizuna AI. You're on the similar ground. She's not broken, but she's not bad. If you take a look at the S1, attacks at an enemy and then dispels a 1 debuff from an ally. I believe that it would be random. Sometimes they word it as a random debuff from an ally, but this one, yeah, just says debuff from an ally. Don't think you can control that. And then if you soul burn it for 10 souls, dispels all debuffs from all allies. Sorry, dispels a debuff from all allies. So it's not super broken, but it's nice to have on an S1. We're seeing that a lot lately. The cleanse on the S1. Ray, for example, and even Destina with her EE. Heal S2 is a passive. Heals all allies with heals the ally with the lowest health at the end of the turn. Amount recovered proportional to the caster's max health. Now again, if you are familiar with Angelica's stats, it is pretty good. And although we don't have the mods right now, so the mod dictates how much the Mola will affect the overall healing. We do see a 45% extra heal. So I mean, based on this, it feels that she should be fast. Unless you want to use her as this kind of like cleanser, kind of like Alina, then you put her on a counter. But otherwise, she should be as fast as possible, I think, if you're going to use her as a straight up healer. I think her S3 really does dictate her to be a faster sort of Soul Weaver as well, since she becomes a support hero as well. I think this is great. 3-turn attack buff. For this, a 3-turn attack buff is really nice to have. We have only somewhat of a limited pool of heroes that can provide 3-turn attack buffs, that being DN, ML Chloe, Vivian, and now herself. We're talking about consistent ones, not ones that rely on RNG. But it does a barrier as well, and 3-turn attack buff for all allies, and then gives her speed buff. So if you have her really fast, that's really nice, because that would give you more opportunity for her S2 passive to heal. Barrier strength proportional to the caster's max health as well. So I think really what she should be focused on, being a support, is be as fast as possible, so she can also do the cleanse as well more often. And high HP. I think that's probably the simplest way to build her. Of course, when you want to get advanced, then you probably want to put some immunity on, and even a resistance if you need it. If you don't want her to be, pinned down on turn 1 in PvP, of course. So I mean, overall, not terrible. Not terrible. Just that, yeah, she's free, 4-star, so we have that. Another free hero. This is kind of cool too, of course. Free Spirit Tieria. If you haven't watched the video, definitely check it out. I won't be playing the video on my video, but it's just to even preview that she has a 14.7% self crit chance imprint. She is only available through the connections, I believe. I think they noted somewhere that you can't like summon her. But don't worry about the imprints, because the 3-star Fire Tieria counterpart will be able to give her the imprints that you need. So it's relatively free. Very cool thing that they did. For one, the free hero in the Kizuna AI collab, and then the new hero, this Spirit Freeia, free Spirit Freeia. I think for newer players coming into the game, she's going to be really good. And in fact, I don't know if I have the resources, I might make her a farmer. But I'll talk about it. We're looking at the skills. The speed is good. Speed is good for 4-star warrior, 112, very good. Defense and health, not super impressive. The attack is very low. For warrior, so yeah, getting her high damage is not going to be really there. She has a 18% effectiveness as well, very nice to have since she's a single target defense breaker. Really quick rundown of my thoughts on her skills. So the S1 does a 50% chance to decrease the attack for 2 turns. Critical hit will result in increased damage. Again, we don't know the mods for this. Her being free and basically being obtainable even if you play this game, I don't know, like 2 months, 3 months from now. We'll probably say that she won't be super OP. That's what I'm thinking. Based on everywhere they used her in her video, it was really kind of promoting her to be like more of a PvE hero anyway. So right now, currently in the game, probably the best farmer in the game right now is RBTL, because he's an ML, so he'll never miss in terms of no elemental disadvantage in terms of the missing chance. So that's what they were promoting, saying that, oh, she's a light elemental, she can't miss. I mean, that's correct, but it really does kind of go to show, like, okay, for maybe newer players coming in and, you know, they don't get RB, or even myself, I'm an older player, but I don't have RB. So I mean, it's not bad. So anyways, the S2 is releases condensed energy for all. So this is a cleaving skill, it's an AoE skill. Recovers the health of the caster proportional to damage dealt, and the cooldown of the skill is decreased by 1 turn when the enemy is defeated. Now, although this wasn't described in the video, judging by the reading of this and how it's meant to be used, how she's meant to be used, I really do think that it probably will most likely be every enemy killed equals 1 cooldown decreased. So right now, innately, you can see on the screen there, it is a 3, no, you can't see on the screen there, there you go. It is a 3 turn cooldown. So if you kill off, let's say 2, or actually even 3, then you'll be able to use the skill right away. The only thing is that if it's on an auto, I'm kind of curious what skill she uses first. I'm assuming it'll probably be the S3 first still. So like, I mean, she's still not RBTL. RBTL, if he kills on with the AoE with the S3, he resets that cooldown, and he's able to do it over and over again. Although I'm not saying that I want RBTL equivalent to for free to play. It's just not the same. She's not bad, but she's not, like, you know, insanely broken, I think. The S3 is dash towards the enemy, cuts down with a powerful strike, decreased defense for 2 turns. So 2 turn single target defense breaker, always nice to have. Critical hit will result to grant an immunity to the caster for 2 turns. Now, like I said, I mean, her base stats are not bad in terms of a 27% already crit chance from her awakenings itself, and then plus a 14.7. So realistically, building her for high crit rate is not going to be super hard, and especially if you are going to put her mainly for PvE, maybe farming, you don't even need to worry about an immunity set, which is much harder to get, especially if you're a new player. Crit set, speed set, I think would be the way that I would go. Or any type of damage, maybe attack set if you're really new and you have the free attack set. Perfect. Yeah, the artifact seems to be like kind of her best in slot too. Again, presuming that you're using her for farming. 100% to grant up to, if you max limit break this, and of course you can for free. It's just what I mean is if you actually enhance it with your artifact charms. 100% chance to grant increased attack to the caster for 2 turns when an enemy is defeated. So that kind of really gels well with her S2. So realistically, in a farming scenario, let's say you have wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 is like the boss with some mobs. Wave 1, you probably waste a turn like pedaling with the S3, assuming that the AI does do the S3 first as priority. You get a defense break, so you're going to guarantee a kill, right? You have immunity up, and then you do the S2, you kill it, and then you get your attack buff for 2 turns. So basically on the next wave, you'll have 1 turn left on that attack. Assuming you kill all 3 or all the enemies in the first wave, the skill 2 is reset, and then so you could do that indefinitely until you hit the boss. Again, not bad at all. In terms of like the chemistry in her AI should be pretty good. So I think overall it's very cool. The coolest thing, of course, is she's free. The bad thing is that we still have a Mola problem, because like with Kizuna, if people like her and want to Mola her, and ML Tieria as well, even if you're a new player, I would highly suggest you don't Mola them, unless you can see yourself using them in PvP. But probably wait for the big brain or the more experienced players to pump out content or post on Reddit on whether or not they're viable for PvP. Right now Mola is very scarce, so you just have to be really careful. This one's kind of Omega lol, very bad image quality, but anyways, this set, like I said, I think this will work very well for a newer player. This may be your ML Tieria set, by the way. Speed set and crit set, exactly what I was saying. Tamarinne, Idle Cheer, drop rate up, not super interested. I mean, Tamarinne is really good, mainly now more for PvE content. PvP, you'll probably see a lot less of her, especially in regards to RTA, unless you built her totally different from the generic Assyria Tamarinne, kind of Tamarines. Anyways, but we also have her skin. Compared to the Tenebria skin, this is definitely not as hype. To me, my comment on this, I mean, look, it's new art, it still looks good, and it's obtainable without, having to pay cash. You don't have to pay Skystone for it. To me, it looks like the same, like, thing. As in, like, she looks like Tamarinne, like the same idol singer Tamarinne that she was before, just with like a different outfit. But it felt like the other skins from the other heroes that we've gotten so far kind of like drastically changes who they are. So anyways, but that's like a small comment. It's not even something I'm complaining about. It's just that it's not super cool. Like I might use it, but I don't think I really care. Anyways, this is a pretty big one. I'll try to make this as simple as possible. Equipment conversion, like reorganization. We have a new thing now called like extraction material. So you can basically extract the I guess it would be more or less the set and the grade of the well, actually mainly the set. So you can extract it from the gear, which will have its own slot. So in the past, if you had to convert gear, you had to, let's say for example, if you guys have been on my streams for the past couple of weeks or so, I've been having a lot of mass crafting streams. You collect a lot of like these gear. Let's say if you're going for like a speed boot, so you craft a lot of boots, right? You craft a lot of boots and you try to get like speed sets so that when you convert it, you have a guaranteed speed set boot. Right now, basically the extraction system is so that you don't have to keep the gear. So it's its own different like inventory slot or package. It actually says it here. So anyways, don't take my word for it. This is too long to like really explain, but basically it doesn't take your slot. So that's very, very good. So for example, if you're like farming a ton and you have a lot of gear, you want to create like your speed chest or your hit set weapon, you can extract that stuff for later and then use it in the conversion itself. So just to keep in mind that yes, it does extract the type of gear, so weapon, chest, helmet, you know, boot, and the accessories as well separately, and then it extracts the set that you've extracted. So as you can see in this preview, I think this probably would do the best explanation, is that you've extracted a ton of speed swords, you've extracted a ton of hit set swords and stuff like that. So it's just like if it was the actual gear itself, except it doesn't take up your inventory slot. So that's a nice to have. It's a nice to have. And you can extract, I don't know why you would, but you can extract your gear from oh, actually no, it is good, it's good. But you can extract it from your lower tier gear, so like your 75s, and if you still have them, like me, 75s and stuff like that. So that's kind of nice to have. Anyways, so that's a big, I would say, the big quality of life change in the patch. So it's very nice to have. We'll see how. I don't think there's any downfall with that system, from my understanding of it. The balance adjustments in terms of the skill, and that's pretty much it. I don't want to talk about it. The powder of knowledge as well. Not much going for this one. I think our previous one, well, the one with Alexa's basket, was a bit better, but we have Abyssal Crown. I would say Abyssal Crown probably the biggest one you want to invest in. If you don't have a max limit broken Abyssal Crown, you have a lot of powder still laying around, I would highly suggest it. I myself, I think I'm 2 copies away from Abyssal Crown, so I might buy one this time, buy a bottle of knowledge, and see where I land at the end of this cycle. So up to July 16th. I see it on screen. I'll probably see where I'm at right there. Otherwise, I would probably max Abyssal Crown. Such a broken artifact. Okay, so everything else I don't think I'm gonna be talking about for tonight, though. If you guys are wondering, hey Jagan, what do you think about ML Violet and what's this, Celine? Yeah, I think it was a new Celine. So those 2 heroes right now looks really interesting. I have an overarching thought on why they're technically sort of similar in terms of both thieves, both can dodge, and then both can retaliate on you know, counter technically, and punish them for their actions. So it's kind of interesting, but I'll have my full thoughts on that tonight, probably during the maintenance. If you guys want to check that out on the live stream, feel free to do so. If you were specifically only watching me on YouTube, I will post those thoughts videos as well in separate videos. So I'm gonna end this for the patch notes, though. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.